Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and while we're here at the beginning of the video, of course, 5th anniversary Marvel Strike Force, but happy Friday. Anyways, we have lots of things to talk about today. We have, of course, the blog, Friday blogs with Boilon, but there's also an additional blog talking about these new upcoming Incursion raids and the invaders events that we really need to go over because there's some really important information in there. Also, because it's Friday, don't forget to do your quick Rumble Blitz, which is active now. The credits from that is going to go towards your Moonstone event. That's currently, and hopefully you're all really close at getting those extra 50 shards. Perhaps I upgraded my characters to gear tier 16 to get me there, so I should be able to get these 50 shards, and that's going to get me 4-star because I pulled a couple of core orbs for her. That being said, you should also be getting pretty close to finishing up Memory Lane as well, which is the March month-long. And of course, in the blog today, we'll be finding out more details about the upcoming April event and what the events are named, when they're dated, and all of that. So if you're ready to go, everybody, then let's boil this day down. And we're going to start here. This is super important, and we need to cover this. So this, I think, came out this morning or this afternoon, like maybe not too long ago. Details on the Incursion raid and showcase events for the Invaders team. Super important. There's a lot of information here, and I'll admit that it takes more than one time to read over it to fully digest what's going on. So we're going to try and go through this together so I can get that information to you guys. So basically, they're talking about the new Incursion raid that's going to be coming out, and this is going to be really important. And what's interesting is it seems like they're making a teaser a little bit. It says they'll see the introduction of new raid teams from across the multiverse, unless they're just referring in this instance to the World War II team anyways. And most importantly, rewards to power up your characters to the new Gear Tier 18. So Gear Tier 18 is coming, and it's going to be in these new Incursion raids. However, this is where it gets interesting. This powerful new Gear Tier will be required for an upcoming game mode. So, something that's coming that's going to be new requires Gear Tier 18. I have 5 characters at Gear Tier 17, and they're automatically already telling us that we need Gear Tier 18 for whatever this new game mode is going to be. That's a bit tone deaf, I think, unless somehow Gear Tier 18 and they're unlocking the bottlenecks up to 17 becomes really easy to do. We'll be revealing in our upcoming Preview 2023 blog, but for now, let's get into the showcase event. So, not a good expectation to set right now, I think, given the temperature of the community, that they're saying that there is new stuff coming, but wait, you need Gear Tier 18. So unless it's a continuation of Dark Dimension, which really isn't anything new, then I wouldn't expect a brand new game mode to be locked behind Gear Tier 18. To me, that just feels gross. But let me know in the comments down below how you feel. Now, the showcase events. This is really important. So there's going to be a showcase event for each of the new characters for the Invaders team. Captain America, Union Jack, I don't know whichever order they're coming in, Iron Fist and Bucky. Or maybe it's Bucky and then Iron Fist, I'm not sure, it doesn't really matter. The end goal of the first series of the showcase events is to prepare your new Invader raid team first for the Incursion event. There's going to be an Incursion event before the Incursion raid comes out. And then for the upcoming new Incursion raid. So they try to outline the schedule. It's a little bit confusing, I'll admit, because there's some other stuff in between that's not mentioned here. Showcase events are for an individual character, and these specifically require Rebirth or Invaders characters, while Incursion events requires the featured team. So here's the schedule. 4 new Invaders will have their own showcase event, most of which precede the Incursion event. Following the Incursion event, the Incursion raid will be released, so patch 7.1. Here's the current order for the Invaders. Captain America World War II Showcase. Now, we're going to talk about some of it down below, but I was told by Community Manager Archangel that you will get to unlock these characters free to play before these showcase events, because we'll find out down below that you actually need the characters in question to participate in the showcase event. This also came up on, I believe, Ramonex's stream here. Rebirth will be needed for the new raid, just saying they are not skippable. Also needed for the Incursion events, Invaders are not skippable. Cap is 2-star at first, will be 3-star later. The rest are 3-star, and Union Jack will be available at 4-star. I'm going to take him at his word. One thing, if he is watching, Community Manager Archangel, I would really suggest, politely so, that you do more communication outside of Twitch, maybe on official Reddit posts or on blog posts that kind of communicate what you're trying to say here but, you know, so that everyone can see it, because not everyone's able to see this. This is a very tiny fraction of players that are going to be watching people's streams, and so I think that it's more prudent that you find other avenues of communication. Just my opinion. So showcase requirements. Showcase events will have 2 difficulties, story and challenge, each with 8 missions, and so they talk about the requirements for this. And for largely, the story mode doesn't really require much. It does say it requires Rebirth or Invaders characters, but there's no minimum number of characters. Nick Fury is an Invader character, so you could just go into the story mode with just Nick Fury, and that's fine. Now, what do you get out of this? It doesn't specifically say at this point, but it does say the enemy difficulty is compared to easy difficulty of previous event campaigns, so difficulty 1 of the old event campaigns. Now, there is a challenge difficulty, but this does require the character in question. So for Captain America, it requires Captain America and other Rebirth and Invader characters as well. Any combination of 4. In fact, you need them. So you won't be able to start this without. But my problem was that you required Captain America. So that's why I had to follow up with Archangel, and he said, to me anyways, that yes, there will be opportunities to get these free to play before this event happens. So I'm taking him at his word that otherwise there's going to be hell to raise later on. So hopefully that is the case. The team of 5 will all have to be equipped with at least Gear Tier 13 to participate, but no yellow star requirements. So this Gear Tier 13 is pretty important. So if your Rebirth characters, for example, aren't up to Gear Tier 13, make sure you do that ahead of this event, although there's no specific dates in mind. Challenge difficulty for future showcase will require the preceding character. So this is important too. So Union Jack being the second event is going to require Union Jack and Captain America, plus other Invader and, well, in this case, other Rebirth characters. And then Bucky is going to require Bucky, Union Jack, and Captain America. And I guess 2 other, Nick Fury, I guess, and like 1 other Rebirth character. So make sure that you have those characters to use for these events. The reward. So story difficulty is your chance to earn character shards via the first time rewards. Now, it's not 100% clear, though, if it's enough for the unlock or if there's going to be other opportunities to gain shards beforehand. So it does say that here, but, you know, cap is 45 shards, and the rest of them are 100. So if you're getting 100 shards for just the first time in the story mode, you know, that's quite impressive because, yeah. It does say they'll earn enough shards to at least lock them at 2-star. May not, future showcases, though, which is basically after cap, may not reward character shards as they'll be rewarded in separate events, such as the month-long events. So, again, we don't know the dates in which, you know, they're going to be released, but it suggests that there's going to be more than one event, that there's going to be other opportunities to get shards for these characters. But if you don't, then you won't be able to do these showcases, right? So you need to be on top of everything in Marvel Strike Force that's happening. And, you know, it seems like they're chucking more and more at us. Not only are they making, you know, your monthly events just more complicated in general, but, you know, because we're still getting just as many month-long events, and we're going to see that in the blog post as well. Other story rewards include, you know, just basic stuff that we would normally get. Just a reminder that Cap starts on the Star Spangled Banner Man arrives on March 27th. So that's going to be on Monday, and presumably that's going to have the story mode that you're going to be able to complete to at least unlock him at 2-star. So make sure that ahead of this, that you do at least have Nick Fury unlocked and built up a little bit, probably to Gear 13, and any other Rebirth characters that you might want to use for difficulty 2 for this event, and also enough resources to take Cap up to Gear 13, because he's required for difficulty 2, and you need Gear 13. So you're going to need to put aside some resources for that. So make sure you have the gold and whatever else you need to get him up to Gear 13. Now, the Incursion Invaders requirements. This is the test drive stuff. This is going to be like Kang Hunt, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. The challenge mode is what's going to be important. The challenge difficulty will require all 4 of the Invaders characters, the new ones, plus Nick Fury at Gear Tier 15. Slightly blocked there, but you can see it on the side, it says Gear Tier 15 to enter and participate. And then there's going to be a bonus difficulty, which requires all 5 of them at 5 yellow stars. Actually, you know what? This doesn't even... Nick Fury isn't required, sorry, on challenge mode, but he is on the bonus one. And 5 yellow. So most of us aren't going to be doing the bonus, but the challenge, we may be able to do that, and presumably that's going to be at the end of all of the other events. Invaders will be great in all Doom raids and will be instrumental in the new Incursion raid, which has a base difficulty of easier than Doom 3.3. I believe before they said it would be equivalent to 3.3, but its higher difficulties will present a new challenge, and the Invaders will be specializing, well, they're probably going to be required, I would imagine. We'll have more information on the future, blah, 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 and then subject to change, of course, like everything else in the blogs, before we get to the actual blog itself, which is Strike celebration. So this is we're not going to be going over the math for this. This event, I believe, is going to be starting tomorrow. So I'm going to be putting out a video tomorrow morning, earlier on than usual, to address the math related to this event. So look forward to that. We have the upcoming April month-long, which is going to be Union Jack here, as you can see on the photo, with just as many main events as Titania did. So 7 main milestone events, 5 quick rumbles, and 4 alliance milestones. That looks like they might be bringing back coordinated assault and not the charging station. So we'll see down below. Event schedule. I'm actually more... Yep, coordinated assault, but there is going to be other ones, actually. Okay. Masters of Judgment, 2 of these, whatever the heck that is, and Spoils of War. Sounds like Alliance War based, and I hope it's not a return of... I forget the name of the one we used to have that was Alliance War based with the war credits and stuff like that. Masters of Judgment, don't really know about that. It could be Crucible. Crucible Alliance Milestone. I really hope not. So these are the names of the upcoming events. Angel's Army starting on March 31st. My bad. What did I do there? There we go. March 31st, which is next Friday. So we're going to have the Strike event, which is going to be starting tomorrow. And then we're going to have the Cap event, which is starting on Monday. And then we have Angel's Army, which is starting on next Friday. So there's going to be a lot of event videos coming out on this channel to cover these kinds of things. So make sure that you're keeping up to date. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button. And make sure you ring that notification bell to make sure that you're on top of all the event videos for Marvel Strike Force, Evil Invasion, Freedom Fighters, Brother in Arms. So I imagine that some of the character events are going to be placed in there where you're going to get shards beforehand, before the other the showcase events for these characters. Which one? I don't know. Let me know what you think some of these are. I guess there's Bucky and Iron Fist, so Freedom Fighters probably, and Forces of Nature might be Iron Fist. That's just what I'm thinking. Freedom Fighters might be Bucky, and then Forces of Nature could be Immortal Invader. That's Iron Fist, obviously. And then it could be Brother in Arms. Could be, maybe, yeah, because it's a 7-day event. So I'm going to say Brother in Arms is Bucky and Immortal Invaders is Iron Fist. That's my guess there. Points. So again, there's like a shit ton of items. You know the drill by now. I don't need to go over this. But what's interesting is there's Union Jack shards in the milestone. So we've gone away from the fucking orbs, and now we've gone back to regular shards. And that's good, I think, because it's more static, and you don't have to gamble. So 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, Did I see 140? Did I miss some? 30. Let's go backwards. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. That's weird. Okay, so, oh, right. Plus the other events, the showcase events. So I guess that's how we're going to do it. So you need to get all the way up to here to unlock them at 662k. So I don't know if these events are permanent or not, because you're going to need to get almost to the end of the month-long event before you actually unlock Union Jack. Unless it's some combination of the month-long events and the other events here, the showcase events, that's going to give you the amount of shards that you need to unlock it. Not super clear there. We'll have some more updates on that as we go through. Sorry. So let's get back to the blog. Anyways, all the items is pretty normal. We'll be doing some update videos regarding that. Of course, there's a leaderboard. There's always a leaderboard on the month-long. We have some details here on Angel's Army. We should also have for the Strike Celebration. So this is going to be the event for next week, starting on... So we're going to be doing this video later on Thursday, so we're not going to be covering it too much here. It's going to be something similar to what we've seen before. Collect Reaper Orb fragments from campaign nodes. So you just farm the campaign nodes, the hard modes, and you're going to get fragments for that. That's pretty typical. We've seen that in other events. And earning Blitz credits. So what that means is basically from Monday, start saving your Blitz stuff, right? Save your milestones from your Blitz starting Monday. The character Blitz on Monday, and then that's going to roll over into Friday, where you're going to be able to claim that for additional points. So I'll be laying that out in the video. Just make sure you do that ahead of time, because I may not end up talking about that before then. So make sure from Monday you're saving those Blitz credits that you can claim for this milestone rewards. It's based on the Scourge event, so frankly it's going to be characters related to that, and obviously one of the month-long items as well. Event items, you can see it in the table there. So it is a 3-day event though. It doesn't say that here, but it actually says that in the table here, that it is down here actually. Duration 3. So that's interesting. It's only a 3-day event. That's pretty short actually. So I'll have to add that into my math for next week. We have Quick Rumble Tangled Web. That's going to be starting the first for April, even though it's not April yet, but that's going to be towards the next... Or is it not? Nope, it doesn't actually include any... Nope. I guess it's not part of the April long event, because there's some other character shards in here. There's some Kestrel, Deathpool, Spiderweaver, Circe, and 20 Icarus, and 15 Agatha, actually. But it's not related to the April month-long event. But we do have the Memory Lane events and the Strike Celebration, so that was in the data mines. There's a lot of garbage in here because you get points through spending power cores and completing raid battles with Rebirth and Invader characters. Okay, we're going to open this up, but this is not part of the math video. So, yeah, there's a whole load of stuff. There's limits as well. Using Rebirth in raids, at gear tier 14, 16, 17, invaders in raids down here in the corner, invaders in raids 14, 16, 17, spend power cores, and win or lose raid battle. So again, there's a total milestone of 55555, and there's 55 agent venom shards, which sounds too good to be true. And so I'll have to, and it probably is, so I'll have to break this down in the math to figure out whether or not this is possible. My guess, just at just glancing, it's probably not. Because the amount of points here and the limits do not look like it adds up anywhere close to what we need. And it's going to require a lot of power core spending. My guess is to get these 55 Agent Venom. Too good to be true, my guess, because that's a lot of shards. So we'll find out more when I do the event video, which is going to be for tomorrow, because this event does start tomorrow, 2 p.m. So tomorrow morning, I will be releasing a video regarding the math for Strike Celebration and all of this stuff here. Feel free to read it in your own time if you like. There is a web milestone that's very easy to clear. It is a 6-day event. This whole thing is a 6-day event, so keep that in mind. That's going to be running basically, yeah, until Friday. So until the Angels Army starts, which is the first event of the April month-long event. So keep that in mind as well. What's in the daily store for today? The Free Claim Friday, the last one. Let's see if it loads. And while it loads, let's double back to the blog post for today. Oh, you're also going to get the Kestrel costume. Charging Station's coming back for its last round as well on Sunday. God, I'm so glad they got rid of this for April, because this was horrific. It is what it is, right? I'm not going to go over it again. Take Flight. The Kestrel event campaign, however, is coming back for March 26th on Sunday as well. We have a new Strike Pass, which is going to give you Captain Carter shards. If you didn't manage to unlock her, or if you didn't get enough shards, then there'll be some there. And then 7 Red Ultron. Also, Absorbing Man, Kang, and Titania entering the Elite Store at the same time. Funny that, because I just did a video this past week about how they were lagging behind on their inclusions of orbs, or sorry, of red stars, and I hope that orbs are not too far behind at this point, because that's been a while too. Star Spangled Man, we knew about this. Friday Free Claim apparently is Union Jack, so that should be in the store here. It is, so 5,000 points and 5 shards of Union Jack, and 50 ISO 8 campaign energy to go towards the Moonstone event. So make sure you're claiming that as well. And I think that's probably going to be it, I think, for the blog post. We got some... Who is that? Dr. Voodoo Blitz on Character Blitz on Monday, and all this other stuff that you don't really need to know about. So, as always, everybody, that's the end of the blog post. But everything you read in here is subject to change, so you just really need to keep up with the game on a daily basis to understand whether or not things are correct in this blog, because 9 times out of 10, there's something wrong. So I guess we'll find out. But keep an eye out for my event video for the Strike Celebration, which is going to go live tomorrow morning, a little bit earlier than my usual release time. So do check that out if you're interested in the math and knowing exactly what you're going to need to do to finish off this month of March. And until my next videos, stay safe and healthy, everybody, and I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.